Unity, learning, discussion, respect, integrity, truth, science, and discovery. Welcome to My Paranormal Soapbox. Hello and welcome to My Paranormal Soapbox. I'm your friendly neighborhood ghost hunter, Justin Brown, and I present to you guys tonight episode 16. We're going to talk about Paraunity tonight. I did not allow you guys to vote this week for two reasons. One, I forgot to put it up. I forgot to put the poll up. And two, I spent Thursday all the way to Sunday in Gettysburg at the Gettysburg Battlefield Bash, and I met a lot of people for the first time that I've known in social media, and we did a lot of Paraunity things there. Okay, so it's fresh in my mind. I have a lot to say about it. I've been working over all the shortcomings that I have personally in what I observe in the paranormal community when it comes to Paraunity. So we're going to talk about tonight does Paraunity exist? Are we able to see eye to eye, despite differences in methodologies, beliefs, and so on? Do egos get in the way? Is it all a competition? So those are the things we'll be discussing tonight, which I am very much looking forward to. As you can see, we got Facebook and YouTube streaming tonight. We're going to shout all you guys up. I'm glad to see you guys. Once again, on the Soapbox Show, we're going to bring over our co-hosts tonight. We got Missy Vastine and Jessica Bias with us tonight. How are you girls doing?
Good. How are you?
I can't complain. I actually feel okay, but I went to the gym, so I'm a little sore. But now I'm happy because we all get to talk about stuff.
Right. Absolutely.
So you guys know the drill, but if you are a first-time viewer of the show, I will go back to Missy and Jess, and they're going to read your comments and questions if you have any questions. But I want to know your opinion throughout the show about anything I say or about Paraunity in general, but try not to go off topic. If it kind of relates to it, that's fine. But if a conversation leads into something else, maybe that's understandable. But I will get back to Jess and Missy here in a few moments after I get into this conversation I'm going to have with you folks, and we're going to see what you think and specifically what I think about it. So I'll get back to you girls in just a moment. Okay, so Paraunity. It's been a soundbite, this thing that you say, but a lot of people don't preach, right? There's a lot of drama. I've talked about drama on the show quite a bit. And the reason I feel like we need to finally talk about Paraunity on my Soapbox Show is that we can do better, despite what we may say, behind someone's back, behind closed doors, what we say to people's faces versus what we say behind their, not to say behind their back, but, not to them. I want that to get better for me, and I want to know if you identify with, my opinions and how I feel and what I do. So here we go. Went to Gettysburg this weekend for the Battlefield Bash. Got to meet a whole bunch of people. Got to do a joint investigation with Elite Paranormal Society. Got to meet a whole bunch of people that are very diverse from what I do. I'm not insanely popular in the paranormal field. I do have a lot of very, very great fans, but I'm not injected and very popular in the pop culture of the paranormal, and for good reason, in my opinion. I do a lot of debunking. I use critical thinking, and I focus on what's not paranormal more than what I put out there as paranormal, or what I believe is paranormal, or preach as paranormal. So the result of that is a lot of people don't like to work with me, and they don't like to get feedback from me, and that's understandable. But despite all those diversities and all those differences, at the end of the day, all I really care about is people. I want to get to know everybody. I want to be friends with them. I want to earn trust, build respect with them in the paranormal community as a paranormal investigator, but as a person first. When I'm dying, laying on my deathbed, I'm not going to be thinking about how that guy investigates or how he thinks of me or she thinks of me as an investigator. I'm going to be thinking about how was I as a person to them and how did they view me as a person. Family members, friends, loved ones, everyone, right? So that's ultimately the most important thing. The world at large is very diverse, but yet we try and strive to come together, respect each other despite those, those differences. So let's relay that to the paranormal field and talk about, is there paranormal, unity? And I believe that there is, but I believe that there's a lot of shortcomings. And what I mean by shortcomings is when there is a pursuit for fame, a pursuit to be the best, and to be the most notable, a lot of people in our popular culture are obsessed with TV stars, with movie stars, with people who are famous in the limelight of the popular culture. So a lot of people strive to do that. And early on, I was influenced. I watched the TV shows. I felt like I wanted to become noticed and have notoriety in the paranormal field, and have some sort of contribution. But what the cost of that is not worth any of it. TV producers and shows own the people that you see on TV. They cannot put forth any of their own personal work. They're pretty much turned into actors. They're forced into sensationalizing a lot of the stuff that they do, and the result of it ends up in fakery and just flat out, fraud before your eyes. They're turning things that are not paranormal and conveying them to you guys that they are. They're presenting a lot of false positives and just a lot of not paranormal stuff. Okay. And they have to. It's entertainment. They have to focus on the entertainment aspect. They have to manufacture all this stuff so you guys are getting something, that you're believing is paranormal as they present it to you. Okay. If you watched a paranormal show and nothing paranormal happened, it wouldn't be successful. So, to the mainstream. So, with all that being said, people pursue that, they get swept up into it, and then they become that. And the egos clash. Okay. Let's say the methodologies clash. Okay. If somebody's using a method that they learned off ghost hunters and it's not universally accepted in the skeptical community. I mean, it's been debunked. There's lots of rational explanations, explaining away all the results and, evidence, as they call it, from methodologies, devices that are being used on these shows, and people are still practicing them. And that will cause diversity. That will cause separation. Okay. That's not, talking about that is not the main topic today, but what I want to talk about is how do we still respect those people, be friends with those people, promote, and actually, root on these people when you disagree with how they investigate the paranormal. It is difficult, but I think that the only way to influence others, if it's possible at all, and this can go outside the paranormal community, is to earn trust and build respect by respecting them as a person, treating them like you want to be treated, and presenting what you do. And don't point fingers. Like, put out your stuff and say, hey, I think this is right and this is wrong. This is what this is my opinion. Don't tell somebody and point their finger at them and call them out, because then you're going to have problems. You see it every day in the paranormal community. You see it every day in all communities, everywhere, all around the world. Okay. People are sensitive. People are passionate. there's a lot of cognitive dissonance happening, and there's ego. So, what can we do? I want to know your guys' opinion. We're going to do. We're going to go back to Jess and Missy, and we're going to read some of the comments. Let's start off with shouting out everybody that's been commenting that you can see. Jess, we'll start with you on YouTube.
Sure. We have Sam's on. Bozardar is on. Nancy's on. Dumpster's dad's on. Jay's on. And did I miss anybody? I think that's it. I mean, they're just all saying hi right now. Nothing, no questions or comments.
I see Michelle just popped up.
Okay.
Missy, who's on Facebook? I seen Gil from APS.
I have Chris Houston. I have Bill Davis. I have R.J. Murphy. I have Joe Vitale. I have Kelly Carter Wagner, Christy, Josh Bender, Tony Pelosi, Spindle Gill, Adam Kimmel. So I guess they're all on Facebook this week and not.
That's awesome. Yeah, I'm seeing there's 16 viewers on Facebook, so that's really cool. Any questions or comments that are good that on Facebook right now?
Bill Davis said, "Did you get swayed at all, or sway anyone, or just get along like Woodstock type stuff?"
I have. I have changed drastically since I started. I started using methodologies that I saw on TV. I did try to be very skeptical and critical, but when you're using those methods and trying to push them, you'll run into problems with legitimacy in the scientific community, and that's what I want to appeal to. I want to actually apply science, use critical thinking, use the scientific methods and principles to find some type of measurement and objectivity. Okay, and at the end of the day, you're left with very little to present to the community. Oh my God, that's a huge comment there. Go on. Chris Houston just typed us a book.
Oh, well, I don't see the book.
Okay, well, I did. It filled up my whole screen.
I see it now.
Okay.
It says, "See, that's the thing, really. There is no need for behind the back motives. It's all a learning and working together process in the business. You don't hide that opinion, but call it out to the face 99% of the time. Sure, close deals and do some things others don't like, but you will state it in their face, politically correct. We can speak to others with issues in person without judgment. We can do real study without fame and reality. The reality is that most never become famous or on TV anyway. It's not worth the effort when you can learn and work together. It's an ego game these days, sadly. Not a real study to 99% out there. So what do? Take the higher road, teach most all aspects, proven to speak of their theories and and remove the ego for real. All of the aspects proven to, yeah, you get it.
All right. Well, this is probably this is Chris Houston's comment, I'm going to assume.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. A lot of people are probably going to feel the same way, but if you're looking through some questions or comments that are really different from that, let me know, but I'm going to respond to this because a lot of people are probably going to feel the same and they're going to know what I think. So I am a photographer and a filmmaker and an artist, okay? And there is a lot of those people out there. They want to create, they want to inspire, they want to entertain, okay? I want to do that too. But in order to do that using straight up skepticism, critical thinking, and only presenting stuff for peer review and not, claiming it's evidence, there is almost impossibility going on there. So, a few things you can do. You can focus on storytelling, about history, about location, about facts. And if you get something, that's just icing on a cake. If you don't, you just say, well, we didn't get anything this time, but that doesn't mean that there isn't any evidence out there to get. Um, we, as creators in this day and age, we're forced to put out all types of content. And with that being said, we cannot repeat investigations at a lot of the same locations, build up a big pool of data, and then try to find out and weed out all of the stuff until we get something really, really neat at one location or at multiple locations. So being forced to put out constant content is one of the reasons why we see all this garbage out there. Okay, we think that we need to fill, our videos and on content with this stuff that I'm preaching and standing up on my soapbox and telling you that we shouldn't be doing. But see, that's what we have to do. Focus on the storytelling. The peer review is removed out of that type of content too, because you're just presenting it. You're not presenting it to, a community that peer reviews it, and you don't go back to the drawing board and repeat experiments and do what scientists do. You just kind of put it in there as a part of the storyline. You put it in your videos as a way to drive the narrative and build the story up. Okay, so that's my response to that. Anything else that you see that's relevant right now?
I agree with Danetta. She said, I think the individual teams who are after finding out the truth about the afterlife are true unity. Once you go after fame in this field, no one else's opinion matters.
Right. I think that fame should come from good work instead of just trying to be famous. In the beginning, just to be famous to be famous. I think that if your work merits that or it happens, then okay. But there's a lot of formulas and a lot of cookie cutter, things that I see. They're emulating the TV shows. They're emulating these stars. Try to think out of the box. Try to do your own thing. Even if you think it's dull and not entertaining, try to find a way to use your dullness and, plainness to appeal to somebody. I mean, that may be horrible advice, but I'd rather tell you that than to tell you to try to emulate what someone else does. Now, it's okay to be influenced, but we want to try to create art that's not full of this pseudo-scientific, crap that we see that we all know that's not paranormal. Okay, we're just putting it out there. People go, oh wow, look at that, and it's entertaining to them, but it's not real research. We're not, getting to brass tacks. We're not trying our best to, actually find something anomalous. Okay, so anything else?
Um, Joe Vitale said, what I do for my channel is usually let people decide whether or not something is paranormal. There are a few things that I will propose and check, but for the most part, I leave it up to the viewers.
Right, he does do that. But it's hard to not put your opinion in there, because when I was out of high school, I worked for the local newspaper, and what I learned from my editor was I was a staff writer. I couldn't put my own, 2 cents in there. I couldn't be just, convey what I felt about the the news that I was telling. I just had to present the facts. Okay, and when you're doing those videos, you're trying to put yourself and your soul into it. It's hard not to. So if you believe that something is an EVP, or if you believe something is paranormal, it's hard for you to not convey your own beliefs and what you present and let them influence you and impact you in ways that are probably going to end up being not what you intended. Anything else before Jess?
One.
Okay, Jess, go ahead.
Dumpster Dads asked, have you ever found evidence that you know was 100% authentic and then had it been called fake? If so, what was the most interesting?
To me, I have a piece of evidence that is impossible and to explain. and should be physically impossible knowing the laws of physics. I personally do. And I have it in my records. I show it on my shows a lot. No one has called it fake. Repeat the last part of the question. They said if they called it fake. What else?
Yeah, if so, what was the most interesting?
Okay, well, the most interesting was back in 2014. I was a residential case, very, very private. The mother of this child that passed away in the home didn't even know I was there. She was at work, third shift, being a nurse. And the father had called me in to investigate because the daughter, 15-year-old daughter, had died in the home, suffocated to death due to respiratory issues in their garage. And when I was reading off questions from a page that her father gave to me because we were doing ITC, trying to contact, I was using white noise from a spirit box. Now, on the video camera, video and audio, there was nothing that came across. And when I was trying to get her to respond and say, I love you, let him know that you're here. But on a separate device, on playback, it was present. So validate, and that's what started my whole wanting to validate in adopting Paul Browning's, methods in EVP research. Okay, if it comes across one device and it's not on all the other multiple devices you're recording, you can validate it that way. It's physically impossible for you to get a piece of audio like I did on just one when all of the recorders are sitting there. So there are some factors that may say that it's possible that it doesn't come across the one, but not in this case. So that would be my answer to that.
Okay. Nancy also said, entertainment is great, but isn't that taken away from the main foundations? And that is to prove that spirits really do exist.
It does. It does. I mean, our culture is so dependent on watching a box with a screen in it. I mean, that's what you're doing right now, okay, to pass your time for this hour. Okay? So what okay, that's the truth and that's the reality. So what we have to do during that time and in that media is present something that is your best effort in trying to answer the questions. Okay, that's all we can do. You can do all kinds of paranormal research and never publish your work, never talk to the community about it, never peer review anything, and that won't do anything. Maybe for you personally, but not for the paranormal community and the research. We depend on each other, for the peer review, to learn, to grow, to be pointed out when we're wrong, to be praised when we're right. But it all comes back to building the trust and earning the respect of people, treating them like you want to be treated, and going about it in a way that you are empathizing with their feelings on how you come at them with positive or negative feedback or constructive feedback. So there you go. Missy, do you have anything that we need to address, or is everybody echoing the same stuff?
Paul Browning said, what I think is important are the contributions to the field. Fame is fleeting and there isn't much money to be made.
Yeah, there's no money in real paranormal research unless you make a breakthrough in science and win a Nobel Prize. But you're gonna have to discover something about physics that's profound. And that's the only way you're gonna make money that I know of. Or you could get a grant for research, but that's not really making money. You're gonna be spilling most of that money into your research project. So yeah, I agree.
And Joe Anderson wants to know if he can give you an experience.
Yeah. Let me know what your experience is. We'll get back to him. You might want to. Can you copy and paste things, Missy? I tell you what. Send me a message and I'll read it here in a moment. Send me a message. Is it on? Yeah, it's on Facebook. Send me a message on my blog page and I'll read it in just a moment. Try not to type it out on chat because the chat is pretty busy tonight. So, okay, I'll get back to you, girls. Okay.
Cool.
All right. A lot of good things you guys are saying. I agree with all of it. Okay. I think once we come at each other with, with no venom in our fangs and no jagged edges on our claws, and we try just come at each other like people trying to understand one another, I think that's the best progress we can possibly make at this time. But there's a lot of teaching, okay, guys, and that's what I'm here trying to do. There's a lot of teaching that I'm trying to do. I'm trying to put myself out there. I'm trying to show methods that I learn from other people, that I learn myself. It should be a collaborative effort. Do I believe Paraunity exists? Yes. Okay. Me and Paul Browning can talk on the phone about things. We can agree to disagree on this thing, but we agree mostly on the other things. Okay, and that makes for a good working relationship, so we can progress the field. Little baby steps at a time. Okay, as long as what we're doing is steps in the right direction, there's a grander possibility for success. So, when you're jealous of somebody else, you want to ask yourself why. If you don't think you're jealous, but you're hating them for whatever reason, you ask yourself, is it you see something in them that you hate about yourself, or that you fear that you will become? Okay. I've seen people be jealous of my work. Okay, and I don't know why. I don't make any money off this. I'm not a popular person. I don't have all types of friends, and when I go to events, people don't line up to talk to me. Okay. Maybe about the Deadlight recently, because that stuff has exploded. But other than that, they don't. They just want to want me to give technical support or science advice to them. Okay, when it comes to live streaming or whatever, it's not really the fame. Okay, I like to I think when we like you guys are saying, remove the desire to want to be famous overnight, or become the next para TV star. Once that's removed, I think we're going to do a lot. So maybe not point any fingers out to people, but just try to do it on your own front, and try to only control what you can control. Okay, and maybe start less drama, or be more patient or more understanding of those that may how should we say it, rub you the wrong way. I know I bring up Paul Browning a lot, but we've talked. Okay, there is a lot of stuff that man is cynical about. Okay, he's been in the paranormal field for a long time. He takes it seriously. He knows that this shit exists, but he can't stand all this crap that he sees. Okay, so he make comments that will just belittle the shit out of you. Okay, I've been there. I've done that. But is that helping other people change? Is that helping somebody who may be more sensitive and not as knowledgeable about this, that, or the other learn? Okay, if we went to school as like a 5th grader or a 9th grader, and our teacher asks us a question and we're like, oh, I don't know, they don't call us stupid. Usually some do. I hope very little do. But try to look at it that way, very caring, very empathetic towards the people you're trying to influence and teach. Okay, build the relationship first. Let them know that you care about them. Okay, and if it doesn't look like you're going to be agreeing on how to move forward, or how to do what we're doing when we're investigating, okay, just let it go, and talk to them about something else. We can all research the paranormal, investigate it, and enjoy our own look at things without being drastically turned off by what they do. At least I do, and I urge you guys to do the same. If someone's creating some work of art and you don't think it's good science, but you think it's good art, you can appreciate that for what it is. You can watch a TV show, they go to a cool location, they do very good with the videography and the editing, and you can appreciate that much of it. If they tell good history in the video, you can appreciate that. You always look at the bright side, but you don't look at it as some type of scientific effort to reveal what the paranormal is, or to study it, or to legitimize and validate what is and what isn't paranormal. So I think that, we just need to set up boundaries and prioritize and do all the necessary things to not bicker and destroy the paranormal community by allowing ourselves to be compromised by our emotions. What do you guys think? Back to Jess and Missy.
Who do you want to go first?
Flip a coin. Flip a coin.
Go ahead, Missy.
Chris Houston said it's not really worth it to hate or be jealous. To be honest, I might have some that I don't speak to anymore, but each has taught me something, and that's key.
I love you, Chris. Be Chris.
Joe Vitale said a couple months back, and Chris knows what I'm talking about, I heard some chatter of things being done behind my back, behind my and another person's back. And I told that other person I would look into it and find out the truth. Just needed time. The other person decided to screenshot and send it to everybody about it.
Yeah, that's part of the problem. That's not good. That don't help anything. Makes it worse.
Mm-hmm. Bill Davis said he promised himself he wasn't going to cry this show.
All right. That was good, Bill. I'll give you a 10 out of 10 on that one.
That's about all I got right now.
Okay. Jess?
Okay, Sam wants to know, how many times do you review your findings?
I try to every time I find something. Now, I've been doing a lot of, I've been doing a video series this year called Portals of the Past. I showcase the location and the history, the stories, the legends behind them. I interview people. I listen to their stories. I tell their stories. We convey our experiences at those locations. And if there's something that comes up in those, investigations that I can't explain, I put them there. I usually label them as something anomalous, but very few of them are validated, especially the disembodied voices. You can't validate that. You can't control the environment as well as you need to. So that is very debatable. If someone came across and said, well, how do you know that that's a ghost or a spirit, or whether I tell them I don't know. It could be, but there's no way to know. Now, the EVP research I do and the methods I use, I can validate them. And if somebody wants to see, the data, it's there for them to peer review. But, when it comes down to it, there's not a whole lot. You don't see ghosts hardly ever. You don't hardly ever record them on video. It's all about the story, the experience, and the telling the story of the pursuit of trying to document and find what is and what isn't paranormal. That's what I put out there, Sam.
Okay, and Bozart asks, is there any other investigators that you will not work with? If so, you do not need to name names.
Yes, there are people that have crossed the line with me that I won't work with, and that's because of, jealousy and just flat out being rude and disrespectful. I'll work with anybody. Even if everything they do I think is retarded, I will still work with them. Just because I like them as a person, just because, me being around them, I might influence them eventually or not. Just like this weekend at Gettysburg. I love those people that I hung out with and investigated with. They were super nice, and I would hang out with them and be their friend. And if they asked something of me, I would do my best to give them anything I had to help them. And that's what Paraunity is about. I don't have to agree with everything they do. That's not important to me. What's important to me is treating people respectfully, because that's the only way we will progress. That's the way I observe the scientific community. They bicker and argue and debate, but they respect each other. Okay? At the end of the day, They respect each other as legitimate people that are doing the same work as them. Okay, so yeah.
Okay, Haunted in Life asks, have you ever had to deal with an attachment? If so, how did you get it to leave?
Um, Usually, attachments result in your mood can change. It can mess with you psychologically. Usually, the cleansing I do removes it easily, but it takes upkeep. Okay, someone who is psychologically sound, spiritually sound. I do smudging. I use sage, sandalwood, sweetgrass. Um, I use Native American beliefs and methods to do cleansings. If other people have attachments, or if there's some type of negative spiritual energies that they believe that they're being influenced by, I do cleansings quite a bit, and that's what I do. I pretty much, after doing this for 5 years, have become spiritually sound. I When I go into a location, it's very, very rare that I become overwhelmed with any type of spiritual influence. I cannot remember, other than Waverly Hills the first time. Sometimes residual energy will feel overwhelming, and some people might perceive it as an attachment. But sometimes it just leaves a psychological imprint on you that you just can't easily shake, if that makes sense. But for men, it's easier. For women, it is not. Okay, because they're more attached to their feelings than men are, in general. Okay, when you walk into a location like Waverly Hills Sanatorium, all the pain and suffering and imminent death, that they experience there is probably one of the most strongest places I've been. And they will feel so much empathy for those people that, it will attract potential, spirits, energies to them, okay? Because they're still stuck in that frame of mind. So just take that into
Okay.
consideration.
Nancy asks, what is your thoughts about asking a spirit when or how they passed?
Oh, good question. Um, a lot of people tend to think that it's not a great idea, and I usually agree, but it's it's all in how you look at it. If you have a intuition, or if you believe that they don't know that they're deceased, or in spirit, it may not be in your interest from a research standpoint and from an ethics standpoint to start asking them, hey, did you know you're dead? How did you die? Blah blah blah. Just be respectful. Okay. A lot of people believe that hauntings are caused by people that don't know they're gone, and that may be true. So if they are communicating in some way, if you believe they're communicating in some way, try to appeal to them in other ways other than talking about their death, would be my suggestion.
Okay. Truth Paranormal had to leave Facebook and come over to YouTube. He said it kept shutting down.
Uh-oh.
So,
I'm seeing Facebook on my end fine right now, so it
okay.
must.
Okay.
Anything else,
No, that's about it.
Missy?
Joe said he PM'd you.
He did. All right. Let's look at it. I don't think I see it yet. Wait a minute. I don't see it. Did he do it on Facebook?
Yeah, I think so.
I don't see it, Joe. Sorry, buddy. I'm gonna go through. Yeah, I don't see it, Joe.
It was to your Justin Brown.
Ah, okay. Well, let me take a look. Sorry, folks. Hang in there. I didn't get the notification. Joe Anderson did. Okay. I'm gonna read this. Before I read this, ask Joe if he wants me to read this out loud. Let me know in the comments if you want to read it out. If you want me to read it out loud. But I love that you guys are interested in this topic. I think it's one of the most uh important topics to talk about. Really is. Okay. There's so many people that I've seen in the paranormal field become bitter and not be friends anymore because they came at them wrong. And that sucks, man. That really sucks because they could be working together. They could be enjoying each other's work and showing everybody else that, we can deal with differences way better than we do. The parafield looks so volatile and childlike. I mean, it's bad. And I don't want any of my viewers, friends, having anything to do with that. I mean, things are going to happen, but try to minimize what happens. Did Joe say that he wanted me to read this out loud yet? I'm not. Okay. I'm being bombarded by Facebook and YouTube. Okay. So I started my Unsolved Paranormal Society group when my mother passed away. I do believe that she was given the wrong medical procedure when she was in the hospital. It was just me at the time. I bought equipment and digital recorders and everything to hear her voice one last time. Then when I realized she wasn't coming through, I thought, is this bullshit? But then I thought, I'm doing this for selfish reasons. Is someone flipping at me? Okay, I'm doing this is for selfish reasons. She is gone and happy. So I did an investigation at a friend's house where his son committed suicide. The father asked, "Are you still here?" Son came through saying yes. Dad says, "Are you here to be with me?" Voice says yes. "Are you happy, son?" Voice says, "I'm okay and love you." Since then, there was closure, but knowing his son was there, that's why I do it. To tell and let everyone know the truth of what is paranormal and what may be on the other side. So, yes, that, the case I was talking about before with, the daughter passing away and the husband having closure, hearing her voice, she actually manifested in a certain way to him that evening when I was there. And we never forget that. It may only happen the one time. Okay? But the pursuit of trying to understand and deal with our mortality and the death of loved ones is very serious and very delicate. Okay? And it shapes us as a culture. It'll shape us as a paranormal researcher. The ability to remain objective in, when dealing with these things is critical. Okay? Just kind of like how Joe Anderson spoke about. He was afraid that, he was compromised, that, he didn't want it to be bullshit, as he stated. So that's the correct approach. That is what you need to do. You need to set aside your willingness and desire to want to speak to that person one last time and make doubly sure that what you're doing is objective. You're doing what you can to validify what is going on, especially in the ITC field. The ITC field is a big pile of poop right now. And it could be better. So, yeah, Joe, I mean, I relate with that totally. I started when I lost my father in 2011. I tried to join a group. That didn't work, so I did my own thing. So, that is the pursuit of dealing with our mortality is the reason why a lot of people do this. And it has nothing to do with fame. Even though it would be nice to get notoriety and, get paid to do what you like to do so much. Don't let that define why you do it. It's a fine line. It's a delicate thing. And we need to work together, guys. We can do this better. I'm trying to help. I'm trying to do my part. Okay? If you ever need my help to do anything, I'm here. If you ever have a question, I will try to answer. If you don't agree with something I have to say, that's perfectly fine. There may be something there, a different way to look at it that you may need to consider just to keep you on the level playing field, just to keep you objective. Okay? You may want to ask yourself why you don't agree with me or somebody. Because I tell you what, I have plenty friends around my circles that tell me if I'm full of shit at a drop of a hat. Okay, that starts with people in my group and a lot of the legit paranormal researchers I have aligned with and been working with. Okay, um, I need to be tested. I need to have that in place. I have a skeptic on my team for that reason. I want him to try to find all the possible things that they can be and have me consider that above, stacked on top of what I'm doing as being skeptical. So there you have it. That's what we need to do, guys. We need to just breathe. Maybe not lurk Facebook so darn much. Maybe, get over that people think dust are orbs and spirits. Maybe get over that they think that what they see on TV is real and try another angle. Okay? Let's make Paraunity not a buzzword. Let's make Paraunity just unity overall. Okay? Like I said, we're not all going to agree. We're not all going to get along, but we can do better. And that is what I want the conclusion of my thoughts about this to be, is we can do better. It won't be perfect, but we can do better. I will be at the Hannah House Paranormal Day celebration in Indiana this weekend. And my goal is to meet as many people as I can that I've never met before. The list is huge this year. Might be the last one. So do I agree with what's paranormal and how to investigate the paranormal with everyone? Hell no. But I'm going to try to be their friend anyway. I'm going to try to figure out, what makes them tick, who they are, where they're coming from, why are they passionate? It may be the same reason why you are. If we do that, we can do a better job. So these events that we do, we all get together. It's essential that we try, despite all these things that are working against us. So, with that being said, let's go back to the girls. Anything in the comments that we need? Any questions? Any last closing cool things?
Sandy Griffin asked, did you see any Paraunity going on at Gettysburg?
Yes. Lots of it.
And that's about all I have.
Okay. I had a message actually sent to me.
Okay.
And it says if an acorn is sitting on a REM pod, will it still work? Don't laugh, Justin. Ralphie wants to know if it would still work.
You guys are killing me.
Inside joke, everybody from Gettysburg.
Acorns are electric, they conduct electricity. So yes. To answer your stupid question.
Ralphie wanted to know, Justin.
Okay, Ralphie, we'll talk later.
I'm sure you will.
Anything useful? I'm seeing the YouTube comments here. I see Alex in the comments just then. What's up, bruh? I see a whole crapload. He had some incredible Paraunity at Hales Bar Dam this weekend. Yes, you did. You had Joe Vitale. You had J.P. Doyle. I think it was Tyler Fedderson there too. Did I miss anyone, Alex? They joined up and they touched tips and fireworks went off. And it was semi-homophobic. But it
Bill Davis?
What?
Bill Davis said you can hook it up to a car battery too.
I can hook them up to a car battery?
The acorn.
Nice. Roasted nuts. They're quite good. You guys are crazy. I love the community that I'm establishing here. It's awesome. Okay, and the reason why it's awesome is, we may joke around, but you guys are talking to each other. You're expressing your opinion, And that will seep in to what everybody else thinks, how it compares or not compares to what they think. And at the end of this, we're all being friendly. I have not seen anybody argue and bicker in our live streams, and that's a sign of the respect and strength that we're building in this community that we're establishing. Would you ladies agree with that?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yay. We got Ricky Knixator in the comments. Long time no see. Both. I think did you move, Ricky? I heard that you did. I don't think we'll be seeing you in Chillicothe this October. If you ever come to Michigan, one place is Seven Gables. Yeah, I don't think I've heard of that. Alex says it was a sausage fest, but for Friday night there was a taco added. So, did you have a Spanish man join you? Is that the taco, or is that just some dingbat thing to add to it? That's funny. All of us investigate differently, but we all come together and had a hell of an investigation. That's right. That's what it's about. I know you guys have fun. If you guys didn't have fun, you're just the lamest bunch of people there is. Hellsbar Dam is just like one of the creepiest, weirdest locations I've seen. Like, it's all wet and dreary and moldy and just icky. Matt, if they copy you, buddy, you're doing something right. Take it as a compliment, really. The best often get copied is what they are the best. It's that simple. That could be true. That can be true. I've loved seeing the Facebook and YouTube comments all in one chat app. It makes me happy inside. Yeah. There you have it, folks. We all agree over here on the Soapbox episodes. Yep, Ricky's in Indiana. We're going to be in Indianapolis this weekend. Maybe you should shoot down there and see everybody at the Hannah House, if you can. Closing statements, okay, guys. Well, I'm gonna tell Missy and Jess how good of a job they did again, how great they are, and how appreciative I am of everything they do. Because I tell you what, guys, you are helping a lot. And I think it's great what we're doing here. I just hope it gets better, and I hope that you think that this time is worth spending on the show. Tell me the truth.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
All right. You guys have a good one. You can hang out on the call if you want, but I'm going to wrap this up. Good job again, girls. Anything to say about Paraunity before you leave us? Anything, Missy? Go.
No.
No? All right. I thought so. Jessica?
Good. I'm just happy that everybody was agreeing with what you were saying.
Well,
not everybody is going to have the same
for the most
ideas
part.
and right. But I mean, nobody's going to have the same ideas, but I think it's great that when people can work together.
Right.
And leave the drama.
Yeah, the evidence that happened this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
I would investigate with EPS any day of the week, every day, if they wanted me to. So that
Absolutely.
was awesome. All right, guys. Let's do this. Okay, we're going to end this show with showing you guys who is supporting us. Okay, it is freaking awesome. Look at these patrons. Okay, it's a huge list now, and it's going to get bigger. I know it is, because everybody is really supporting this content. And if you want to see it continue, please consider going to patreon.com/support interface death. You get rewards, you get discounts, you get shouted out, you become part of what we're doing. It's not just a name on the screen. You are this content. You make it possible. Okay? Christy Brown, Clay Borman, Matthew Jackson, Matt Benton, Danette Goldtrip, Gwendolyn Guthrie, Scott Stewart, Jessica Bias, RJ Murphy, Liz Coy, Bill Davis, and many, many more to come. You guys make this content possible. Keep it growing, keep it going. I will do this each and every week. I will keep adding to the production value and the awesomeness that you see before you. Each time I get a pledge, I'm going to put it right back into everything that we do. So thank you to the patrons again for continue their support. If you guys want to do it, if you guys want to be part of the family, you know what to do. You guys are awesome. I love streaming on both platforms. We get everybody in here, seeing what they think, me telling you what I think, learning, growing together. So I love you guys. You're in my heart. You're part of my being. You make me who I am, and I hope I am partly involved in the same for you folks. So you guys have a good evening. Necromancer, we have Dina Ray. She is a conspiracy theorist author. I listened to Jason's Blaine show a couple years ago when Dina came on, and she's very interesting. You're going to want to check that out at 8 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time tomorrow night on the Necromancer Facebook live page and on Interface Death YouTube channel. So we're looking forward to that. We got Hannah House Paranormal Day celebration this weekend. We will live streaming. We're going to be talking to Carrie Forsix, I think her last name is. If I butchered that, Carrie, I'm sorry, I'm wrong. But I'm looking forward to talking to her. We're going to meet all kinds of new people. Their list is like a bajillion names long. We're going to hopefully do well. Now, we have a brand new documentary that's out about the old Blackford County Jail in Indiana. Please consider at least renting that on our website at www.interfacedeath.net. Okay, go to the videos page. You can rent it for like $2 and watch it. You can buy a digital copy for $5. You can buy the Blu-ray for $15. If you're a Death Tripper and only donate at least $1 a month, you get a $5 discount on that. So you guys have a good one. I'm going to leave it there. Stick around for the video promotions. As always, we will see you next time.